Good morning and happy Friday. So 25 years ago, I was wrestling with our boys and I lost and I hurt my neck. And for about the next week and a half, I was walking around like this because it resulted in tension. It was right between my shoulder blades and I was just living on aspirin, and I found if I pressed on this spot, it was a little bit of relief. So we went to a Bible study, our small group, and after the small group was over, one of the guys came over to me and he goes, "Woodruff, what's with the, you spent the whole night like this. What's going on?" I said, "Oh man, I hurt my neck, and I've got this point. If I push on it, it's better." And he was a physical therapist. He goes, "Sit down." So I sat down. He gets behind me and he just picks up my head and sort of puts me in traction. And I was like, "Oh my goodness. I will pay you any amount of money if you don't stop that." That is, finally, after 2 weeks of being in pain, I've got some relief. And he said, "Well, it's no, but if you come in tomorrow," he goes, "I'll work you in and we'll get after this." So I'm there at 7 o'clock in the morning waiting for him to open the door because I'm just so anxious to try and get rid of this pain. And I go in and he starts and he's pushing on my back. He's got me laying on my stomach and he's pushing on that spot. He goes, "Is that where it hurts?" I go, "Yeah, right there." And he goes, "Right here?" And I go, "Yeah." And he sort of pushes on some more. I go, "Yeah, that's where it is. That's where it is." And he starts, pushing on it. I go, "Eric, what are you doing? You're killing me." And he goes, "Well, right, I'm trying to help you get better." And I go, but it hurts." Right? And he said, "Were you under the mistaken impression that this was going to feel good?" And I said, "Yeah, when you put my head in traction." He goes, "Yeah, no, that's not the way forward." He goes, "That was a temporary fix." So I thought of that after I started to get feedback from yesterday's devotion in which I talked about forgiveness. And a number of you wrote, commenting on how helpful or important or troubling, whatever, that particular message was. And I realized that there's a sense in which I call you to forgive those that have wronged you. And some of you have been seriously wronged. When I call for you to forgive those who have been wronged, some of you feel like I'm just sticking my finger in that spot that hurts and I'm messing with you. But that's actually the way forward. So I decided to take a detour from Philippians 3 to go to this passage in Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. It says, this is a parable that Jesus tells. He says, so Peter came to Jesus and asked, "Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother when he sins against me? Up to 7 times? And Jesus answered, "I tell you, not 7 times, but 70 times 7. And then he goes into the parable. I just want to pick up on this idea of 70 times 7. So, look, it's not 490 times. You can do math. But there was a debate going on, a rabbinical teaching that suggested we should forgive somebody 3 times. Now, I'm in Atlanta. You can see this is a change of background. We're at Sherry's parents. We're here for their 65th wedding anniversary, which will take place tonight. And I'll just go on record as saying Sherry and I would not have lasted 65 hours, let alone hope to last 65 years, if she was only going to forgive me 3 times. That was it. So Peter, to his credit, is saying 7 times. I mean, he's more than doubling the number. But Jesus says no, 70 times 7. And that's not a number. That was sort of limitless. We are expected to follow God in his mercy and to extend that kind of grace to other people. Now, I realize this is incredibly challenging for some of you to hear. There are people and you know who you are, that I call you before I'm going to mention forgiveness in the sermon because I know it will be so disruptive to you. But this is the way forward. And I'm not asking you to forget what has happened to you. I'm not asking you to say it didn't matter. I'm not expecting you to trust people that are not trustworthy. But there is a way forward when we forgive. And we are called on it as part of the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, or as we forgive those who sin against us. So this is a way forward to forgive other people. It's part of the way we can live around other people. So today, I'm asking you again, who do you need to forgive?